Folks, we have got a huge collab coming to Watcher of Realms, and it is going to change the game. 4 new powerful heroes coming. A couple look to be absolutely ridiculous. We already know the dates of the next limited. That is in 8 days, as well as the next super OP ancient exclusive. And I've got a brand new promo code for you that's going to give 3 rare summoning crystals, 50,000 gold, and 100 diamonds. You don't want to miss any of this. I have like a million Dracula collab videos coming, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's get into it. We got huge news today in Watcher of Realms, guys. Moonton has announced the game's first ever collab. This is an official collab with a classic property. That, of course, you can see right behind me, is Dracula. And this collab is coming with so much. We are getting 4 new, very strong heroes. A couple of them look to be potential major game changers, and all 4 of them are very unique and very cool. We already know the dates for the start of the event, when we're getting our brand new limited hero and when we're getting the main Count Dracula himself. I say the main Count Dracula because they're actually releasing 2 versions of Dracula. We'll break that down in a second. Finally, to kick off the event, we have a new promo code, which I'm going to share with you right now. There is so much to discuss here. I'm going to have to make so many videos about this event because there are 4 new heroes, all very unique, like I said, and some with extremely complicated kits. I'm looking at you, Count Dracula, over here. This guy is going to be stupid strong, but my God, his kit is convoluted as hell. It is one of the most interesting and complex kits we've ever seen in this game. So what my plan is, right? I was right now, when the news dropped, and at this point it dropped 20 minutes ago, the official dates for the release of Count Dracula and Mina. These are our ancient exclusive heroes and our new 200 summon guaranteed limited hero. When that news dropped, I was already preparing a video where I was doing an initial breakdown of all 4 units. That will still come later today, have no fear. However, for deep dives and guides, I think each one needs at least 1 additional video. There's just so much going on here. So for now, let's go through the dates. Let's go through the general gist of these amazing new heroes and what this event might bring. And to kick things off, the promo code. So right there, I was on the test server, obviously, the Fastidious test server. If we go now to the global live version of the game, we can get the promo code. So click on your avatar in the top left, then go right where my head is here and click on settings. And then if I move myself over, you'll see this button, redeem code. It's a little key icon. Click that, and the new promo code is Count Dracula. Pretty simple. Click that, redemption successful. This should be live a few more days, and it has 200,000 uses. However, we do consistently see all 200,000 uses get used up. So if you want the rewards, please use the code as soon as you see this video. The code is still live. It will still be live. If you have an issue, go to the description of this video, copy and paste it in there. People do typos all the time, and then they tell me the code isn't working, and then I go check on another account, and of course it is. So let's go to the mailbox. This is a pretty juicy code. 3 rare summoning crystals, 100 diamonds, and then kind of a negligible 50,000 gold. That's like 2 failed upgrades. But 100 diamonds is 100 diamonds, and then 3 rare summoning crystals is 264 diamonds worth of summons. So it's kind of like they're giving us 364 diamonds. That is pretty sweet. That is a good code. Also, you can see these web event rewards. Make sure to do your daily sign-ins with the new player center. That's a separate thing, but you get little bonuses every day as you build points so you can redeem the big bonuses. But look at that. Very, very cool code. All right, let's get to the juicy stuff. You guys want to know the dates. Who are these guys? We'll go over that in one moment. But most importantly, when are they coming? They're coming so soon. They are coming so soon. Actually, that's a whole other video I'm going to have to make probably tomorrow, I guess, where it's like, do you go for Beatrix and Beelzebub when we know these guys are coming so soon? When it comes to how to acquire them, we don't know everything, but when it comes to Lady Mina over here, who looks stupidly strong, one of the craziest kits I've read in a long time, and then Dracula, who's going to be one of the strongest Chaos Piercer units in the game. Also, like I said, one of the most... I don't know, one of the deepest kits ever, one of the strangest kits ever. You'll learn so much about that over the next few days, over the next week or two. But we do know when they're coming, right? So Mina is hard confirmed to be the limited unit, and she is already coming in 8 days. She's coming next Thursday. That's feels so soon. And then we know next Saturday, we are getting Count Dracula. Let's go to the official announcement here. Like I said, it was posted at the time, right now, 25 minutes ago. You can see they're hyping up Count Dracula and Lady Mina. And look at this, release hero Count Dracula. He is obviously an ancient exclusive if you did not see. You can see the dual faction in Chaos Order and Star Piercers, boom and boom. He is going to be on an ancient banner next Saturday. And like I said, the date for that will be November 15th. Then Lady Mina, who I think probably will be the biggest hype of this event because she's guaranteed, because she's limited, because you know you can get her in maximum 200 summons. That's already coming on Thursday, November 13th. And I really don't think anyone can afford to skip her. I'll just tell you right off the bat, just like a quick hits when it comes to what these units are like. And let's start with Mina. She is crazy unique, right? She is a mage that's in the Star Piercer faction. So she is the first ever mage from the Piercers. She also obviously has dual faction membership in the North Throne. And I'll tell you right out of the gate, she is designed for Matrix. So hopefully they actually address the core fundamental problems with Matrix 1, with Zerbis. However, they're just releasing heroes to help you beat it, right? We saw that with Valise. We saw that with Ezrith. I think that's basically what they're going for with Vlad Dracula, the younger version of Dracula. But without a doubt, that's what they're doing with Mina. I also just think in general, Mina is going to be crazy strong. She's got a ton of potential in PvP modes. I think particularly in Arena, she'll be awesome, but I would not be surprised at all if people find a way to dominate with her in GVG. She's a ridiculous support with some of the most unique stat sharing mechanics that then allow her to deal a lot of damage. Let me actually just highlight one of them for you now. We go to her second passive over here, Crimson Oath. During her ultimate, she gets 50% of the attack of the ally anywhere on the field deployed. So any ally deployed anywhere on the field with the highest attack. She gets 50% of that. Not the base attack, the current attack. Whatever attack that you've built upon them, and then they're currently holding at that moment when she ults on the field. So what's the difference between built upon them and currently holding? Well, let's say you built up, I prepared a very high attack Ardia over here, just for this example. You can see this Ardia has 36.4 thousand attack. Huge, right? However, if I had Ardia deployed and she had a Chaotic Lord or a North Throne Lord, one of her factions, and let's say she was getting a boost from a Dolores or a Diao Chan or a Beelzebub, her actual current attack at the time of Mina's ult could be a heck of a lot higher than this, right? With those bonuses, her current attack could be 38,000, 39,000, 40,000, right? And Mina is going to get 50% of that during the ult. And that's the moment when she's going to be dealing actual damage. On top of that, I'll just tell you now, she has a very unique mark debuff mechanic called Blood Sigil. And one of the things that does is her and the allied hero she's getting the attack from, when they attack enemies under Blood Sigil, are going to deal 30% more damage. So think of this example. Her and Ardia are both North Throne. Let's say they had Elder as a Lord or Isolde as a Lord, Hearts, it doesn't matter. They've got a Lord, so the attack's even higher. You've got a Diao Chan there boosting them. And then they go to do this. Your Ardia, who's already going to be stupid strong, is now going to deal 30% more damage to everyone under Blood Sigil, which is going to be tons of people. Mina is putting out that Blood Sigil constantly. And then Mina is also going to deal a crazy amount of damage because when she ults, she is going to transform into a phantom of Count Dracula and deal ridiculous piercing damage. And remember, during that ult from this passive, I don't want a huge Mina breakdown, but I'm just trying to give you a little taste of what's coming to the game right now. She is going to have her attack through the roof. So this is a random quick equip build. I'm not saying this is how to build Mina. You can see she has very low base attack, right? 23, 24, basically like a support, someone like an Aeon or a Mari, because that's kind of what the other part of her kit is like. But even then, with a decent build, you can get her over 10,000 attack. Here, I've got her 11.3 with a quick equip. I don't recommend building her like this, but easily you'll build her over 10K. And then you're getting the current attack of that Ardia. That's another 20k, right? That Ardia easily could have up towards 40,000. Or let's say it was a worse Ardia build, but still had all the boosts from the Lord bonuses and Diao Chan and so on. Potentially an artifact, any other boosts that are stacking as well. Let's say Ardia was at 36k current attack. That's still 18k additional attack for Mina. So even if she was at a low 10k, all of a sudden you've got a mage now who has got 28k damage. And that is, it's a lot. One thing I will say with Mina that is going to be interesting is she's in two very physical DPS heavy factions, but she deals magic damage. It really isn't the end of the world though, because all her main damage is going to be when she's getting the effects of her second passive, when she's getting that huge attack contribution from the ally on the field with the highest attack, and that happens during her ultimate. And during her ultimate, she actually doesn't deal magic damage, right? She is dealing that multi-target piercing physical damage one time every 2 seconds. So when you actually want her to deal damage because she's become strong, the damage does flip to physical. I think overall it would make sense if they just changed her damage type to piercing or just to normal. Magic makes no sense, but when she's going to actually be capable to deal damage, you're kind of good to go. And in PvP content like Arena and GVG, she will still dominate with the dual typing, but I just think in general it doesn't make sense that her base typing's magic. But remember, when she's going to deal the big damage, she is doing piercing physical damage. Final thing I want to say about Mina, if I'm not mistaken, she's the first unit ever in Watcher of Realms to have this dual faction membership, North Throne and Star Piercers. So let's go a lot faster through the other three. I think you're already getting a good taste. Just remember, Mina is coming a week from tomorrow, November 13th. So get ready. Make sure you have at least 200 summons. In the full breakdown, we'll go over awakenings and stuff like that. So Dracula, like I said, one of the craziest, most unique kits I've ever seen. Very, very complicated. The main things you need to know are he cannot do basic attacks by himself. However, he applies a very, very weird mark to allies, the two allies within 2 tiles of him. So imagine like a 2-tile radius circle around him that have the highest attack. And he's actually going to be sucking their blood. He's going to be draining their energy. However, the bonuses that come from that are he will attack along with them, and his attacks are really good, especially if they have a fast attack interval, because that he's just attacking when they're attacking. That's how he does his basic attacks. 200% damage. That can go up with bond skills as well, which reminds me, one other crazy thing, Mina is the first unit ever to have 2 bond skills because she has a bond skill with each Dracula. One thing they need to update here on the test servers, they're not saying which goes to which, but she just gets further boosted by having the 2 forms of Dracula. So this is like the old, been alive for centuries, Count Dracula version, right? So if we look, he's going to attack along with other units when they attack, and all the while basically sucking their blood, doing the soul rot. However, those soul rot units are giving him more and more power, and he's getting these stacks of soul siphon, which are big damage boosts and big rage boosts. Then they just make him become stronger and stronger and stronger. And then when he ults, he's going to consume all the soul rot, so those guys don't get their blood sucked anymore. He gets extra damage boost based off of his attack speed. He puts out some anti-healing, HP drain, and he does this spamming. You can kind of see the animation. It kind of looks like these souls running towards the enemies. One of the craziest, fastest burst DPS things you're going to see. He's going to hit one enemy unit 5 times every single second for 15 seconds, and it is just a barrage of damage. There's a lot more to this kit. This is going to be the biggest video I have to make because it's just very confusing, but look forward to that. Then we got Van Helsing. This is the guy hunting Dracula. It's kind of interesting because I feel like Lucius was kind of also clearly based off of just a different version of Van Helsing. This is more like the movie with, I think it was Viggo Mortensen who played him. My apologies, guys. It was Hugh Jackman. The more like modern, cool Van Helsing, where this is like the old-fashioned one. You can see kind of the more old-fashioned garb. Kind of looks like a character from Soul Calibur. Shout out to Soul Calibur 2. But yeah, interesting kit here. A lot of DPS potential, piercing damage. He is now our 4th Nightmare Marksman, but he also has dual faction membership with Piercer. So he's kind of like a Yuri as opposed to a Hotsit or a Ryzen who only have Nightmare as a marksman. That is part of Nightmare faction. They don't have the dual faction. In terms of his kit, it's kind of similar to Kai, where he's putting out these marks that can explode. Kai has a crowd control element to it with the worm snares. Here he's doing something called mithril shrapnel. And then when he hits it, there's certain chances that he explodes it. During the ultimate, you can see some of the things go up to 100% chance when he uses his giant axe. He kind of has this crossbow and this crazy big axe. He honestly looks incredibly cool. He's got good potential. I really, really will need to test him to see how strong he is. But I do believe he's going to be the kind of unit you bring for a Matrix, that kind of fight. Very, very heavy on the AoE, the bursting AoE. And he also has a pretty good physical damage vulnerability debuff that he puts out. Finally, this is pretty exciting. We have got the other version of Dracula. So I'm not a Dracula expert, but I do believe Dracula was like a warrior, prince, royal dude, something like that in like his past life before he became this like, you know, immortal undead thing sucking everyone's blood. And he was kind of like a, you know, a battle warrior. And I think that's what's reflected here. This is like the young version of Dracula before he was a count. So this is Vlad Dracula. And then this is like his, you know, like I said, centuries later in like medieval Europe, this is Count Dracula. But this is like the historic Vlad Dracula. And very interesting with him, two things. He now becomes our 4th tactician ever in the game. And he's our first ever tactician that's not riding a horse or something like that. Right? So unlike Moradin or Astriel or Valara, he's just there on his 2 feet. I tested him out in battle. He just kind of moves around. He has a very, very large radius he can move within through his ultimate. He can move to any unoccupied tile within 3 tiles. And as you can see in the preview there, it's for a lot of maps kind of feels like he can go anywhere you want him. I mean, that is a huge, huge radius. He also is the first tactician that is seemingly designed as a tank. Right? So he has a lot of defender elements. He has a base block of 3. When he ults, it goes up to 5. And this is the really juicy part. He is our newest unit in the game to have damage scaling off of HP. And it seems he has some decent damage potential. Will he be as good as Malvira? Will he be worse? Will he be better? We'll have to see. But he also puts out very, very unique marks. He has this War Frenzy thing that's going to slow down the enemy's attacks that he's blocking. And additionally, when he takes direct damage from them, they're actually going to heal him up if they're inflicted with War Frenzy. Again, there's a lot in this kit. There's a lot in all of these kits, but it's a pretty exciting time in Watcher of Realms. So to recap, what do you need to know? We've got a new promo code that gives 50,000 gold, 3 rare summoning crystals, and 100 diamonds. That's going to be Count Dracula. Use it right now. We also already know the dates of the first 2 of the 4 new units that are a part of this collab with Dracula. So that is going to be Mina. She is the limited. She is the 200 guaranteed. She is crazy. She's coming a week from tomorrow, Thursday, November 13th. And then Count Dracula is going to be an ancient exclusive. We don't know who he's paired with yet, but he is getting his own banner. He's going up on Raid Up next Saturday. So that is in 10 days, November the 15th. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to stay on top of all of this stuff. We have like a million Dracula videos coming now because this collab is going to be huge. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I've been Fastidious. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.